Hey YouTube, I'm the Remodeling Veteran and welcome to this week's video. This week I want to show you how to install a new outlet box in your house or in your garage or what have you, and how to run the wiring to your breaker panel safely and correctly. So as always, we really appreciate you guys watching the content. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a need to do the videos, so we really appreciate that. If you do like our content, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when we post new videos. Without further ado, as always, let me readjust the camera, show you where we're going to be working, and we'll get started. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to be using this week. As always, I'll go from left to right. You're going to have some sort of fasteners. In my case, I'm using a metal box that I'm going to fasten right to the studs of my pole barn. They do have what they call blue boxes that have nails on the side. You can just nail them, but in my case I'm using metal boxes, so I gotta have fasteners to fasten it to the studs. Some sort of front plate to cover your box once you put your outlet in, and in that case you're gonna have to have some sort of outlet to put in your box. This is just a regular old residential 15 amp non-tampering, or tamper resistant rather, receptacle. There's a bunch of receptacles out there, just choose what's best for you. I got some needle nose pliers out. That's just going to be to cut our wiring, and then I also have some wire strippers. You can use a knife to cut the sheathing off your wiring, but it's just easier if you have wire strippers. It makes it a whole lot easier actually to get the sheathing off. And then you're going to need some sort of screwdriver to fasten the wire to the box and into the breaker box. So let me just readjust the camera, point you to what direction we're going to be working, and we'll keep going from there. All right, guys, so here's the panel I'm going to be using. We just installed this. Like I said, this is the pole barn we just put in, and we bought all new to run our power mast and outside panel and our meter base and everything to have our electric company run a line drop to our new panel. The only thing that we reused, I've had this old Bryant box for years, and it's used. So as you can see, I'm going to strip all these old neutrals out, and both sides are actually neutrals in this box, and at some point somebody has taken the ground bars out. So I'm going to have to add 2 ground bars on each side, that way I don't have lines crossing, and add a grounding lug, that way I can run my 4-gauge bare copper wire outside to our electric meter base to bring it up to code. So speaking of code, guys, I want you to be 100% sure where you live if you're allowed to do this. Every state and city is different. The state that I live in allows you to, if you're a homeowner and you own your house, you can do all your own electrical work. That also is dependent to the city of this state. Here you're allowed, if you go one city over, their local ordinance does not allow you. You have to have a licensed electrician to come do all your work for you. So just be sure that you're allowed to do it and not have to have a license. If you are allowed, also make sure that you check with your local permit office or in a lot of cases the county building to make sure that you do not have to have a permit, and if you do, make sure you pull those permits. And all that said, make sure you also feel comfortable doing this. In my case, I don't even have power running to this, so there's no reason to check. As I said, it's new service, so I don't even have anything coming off the power pole yet to this system, so it has no electricity running through it. That's why I will not be testing the box. So without further ado, let me just grab my screwdriver. We'll take all these neutral and old ground wires out, add 2 grounding bars, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I've installed the 2 ground bars up top. I ran the number 4 bare copper wire down through my EMT conduit, through my access panel down here, and then out to the outside, and we'll connect that outside when we get all said and done. So I think we're good to go ahead and start running this 12-2 wire to our box here, or to our breaker. And I think I'm just going to put the I'll put the box over here on the 4x4 post or something. I'm probably going to have some benches here, so actually this 2x4 post would probably be pretty good to put a box on. And I might even put it on the outside of this post or something temporarily until I actually get OSB and stuff on the wall. So let's go ahead and start running this through here. And I've already pre-sized this, so I know I'm going to be connecting here, and I've just ran my ground. I'll have to trim some of these up, that way I know my ground wire is going to be long enough. So with that said, since my ground wire is going to be the longest one, I just get a screwdriver here, my cutters and stuff ready. I will loosen this first screw up. Give this wire just a little small 90-degree bend. Hook it all the way through. I'm gonna kind of curl mine down and kind of wrap it through. That way it's gonna be out of the way of the other breakers. If I ever go that high, which I probably won't. This breaker box is a little bit bigger than what I need for my pole barn, but it was used, it works, and I don't have to buy a new one. So keep all these ground out of the way, or keep this ground out of the way. So white is always neutral, and our black wire is hot. These 2 bars on the end that are connected with this center bar here, this plastic piece that runs on both sides, is a metal bar or metal strand that connects both of these. So these will be my neutrals. So the white wire will go to one of these screws here, and my hot wire will go to my breaker. Alright guys, I just kind of readjusted it here so you can see probably a little better. So I'm gonna get ready to run this to my hot here, or to this breaker. That should be plenty there. Take our wire strippers. See how easy that is? Go a little bit farther. That's it. Loosen my breaker screw up here just a little bit. Okay. Again, guys, like I said, we got no power running to this, so make sure you always check and make sure you have no power. Okay, and I'll probably just run this to this very first panel there, very first neutral screw here. Okay. Give it a little bend. Loosen this screw up just a little bit. Okay. That's it there. Got everything ran. Everything looks good. All right, guys, so I've added, I took off camera, I went and added 2 2x4s to this outside thickness, or my outside 2x4 here that my OSB is hanging off the pole barn. I did that because I have my 4x4 post here, which is 3.5 inches, and these 2x4s will equal 3 inches, so it leaves me half of an inch, which in turn, this is a 1.5 inch box, so when I put it in here, that'll leave me 3/4 of an inch of room when I put my OSB on. Now realistically, my box will probably stick out a little bit, but I'll trim it in or something. It'll look fine. It's just the garage anyway, so at least it's protruding a little bit. That way when I put my OSB over top of my 4x4s, it'll be out of the way. So let's go ahead and touch this box real quick and go from there. All right, guys, so let me go ahead and get this wire in. Let's punch out this side bracket for the so we can run our wires through. I do need to get some things to hang my wire here. I like my stuff to be somewhat neat, and so I don't have any on me, so I have to size it and get it later, I guess. This should be plenty enough to cut this real quick. Okay. Cut this real quick. Alright, guys, so I've ran my wire into my box here, and I got my outlet. So you know that if you've watched my GFCI video, you have one side of the outlet is generally silver screws and the other side is gold, and you have your ground down here at the bottom. So your ground will always go here. Our white neutral wire, which is this one, we're going to put on our silver side, and the black hot wire we're going to put on the gold side. So we go ahead and give these a strip. Like so. Take my needle nose and get these the sheathing off. You use these and wrap them around. I'm just taking my needle nose and just kind of giving them a curl like that to be able to make it easier to wrap around the screw on the outlet, like so. start with the ground first. Tighten that on. Just give it about good hand tighten. It don't have to be over cranked. Okay, and here you see we have the silver side. So that's the side we're going to put the neutral white wire. Give it just a little bit too much of a curl. Okay. I'm gonna tighten that one on. And we'll do the same thing with the hot side. Okay. Now, we'll pull some of this extra slack through and screw this thing down to the panel, to the box rather. Okay, now we'll take our cover that we bought, screw that onto the outlet. Okay. Looks good. All right, guys, so there you have it. Quick and easy. We installed both ground bars. We ran our main 4 gauge bare copper wire that's going to be running through the EMT conduit outside and attached to the outside meter box where the power company puts their meter socket and where your power comes from your line drop into your house. So we'll attach that outside. I'll do that off camera. It's the same thing as here. It's just got one of these big lugs on it. You just pop the bare wire in and screw it down. So same concept. And then we ran the neutral to the neutral bar. We ran the ground from the 12-2 up to one of the ground bars. And we ran the hot to this breaker just to get the first outlet in so we can do load test. So we can test to make sure that that works. So when they finally put the power in or install power. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. As always, if you enjoy our video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we post new content. As always, from the Craft family, have a blessed day, and we hope to see you again in the next video.